My name's Ben Salisbury. I'm a composer. I've teamed up with a guy called Geoff Barrows and we write film scores together for anyone who will sort of pay me to write music, really. I think I've always wanted to make things. A friend of my parents who had a grand piano, and I do remember messing around on it and thinking this made a great sound. The thing I was really interested in was listening to pop songs, trying to work out the chords to Elton John songs, Lady Madonna and Hey Jude. I had a piano teacher who I didn't necessarily agree with, but he had that knack of you wanting to impress him, and there's no getting away from it if you want to learn an instrument, and that's not entirely necessary to become a composer, but it does help. You need someone who will encourage you to put that work in. First time I got paid to actually compose music, I wrote the music for a short film that had been broadcast on Channel 4, so I got the royalties for that, and then I had a film with a credit with my name on the end of it that I could go and show to directors at the BBC. There is an element of, you can be walking around, driving the car, doing the shopping. Particularly with melodic things, a tune can come to you. And I think it does to a lot of people. They just don't then madly sing it into their phone so they don't forget it and walk into their studio and try and recreate it. And working with Geoff Barrows, it's both of us making decisions about whether what you're doing is good or not. Play is very important. We did a film called Free Fire, the idea of making the soundtrack, the score, sound like it was found music, old records. And we decided we would be like a prog rock band, wearing sort of purple vests, coming from our high-rise building in Belfast. That was brilliant fun. The whole thing was like play. It was being in a band, even though it was a pretend band. Yes, all the time. I mean, I don't know anyone who does creative work who doesn't doubt what there is. That's part of the creative process. Is doubting whether something you're doing is any good. You've got to not let it bother you. Everyone feels like they're a fraud at some point. Just get on with it. I've made mistakes, done some things I'm not 100% proud of, looking back on, don't particularly like, and I don't think I know any creative person who has looked back over everything they've done and go, wow, that was amazing. But I wouldn't say any of those things are monumental screw-ups, they're just not. Well, he's a genius. Brian Wilson's a genius. I don't want to pass judgment on his mental state, but no, he's a genius. Good. I don't know about genius. I don't know. I quite like Beck. The amount of work he had to do as a commissioned composer, every week having to write a chorale to maintain the quality of workmanship. Bach is absolutely a genius. Personally, people spend too much time worrying about their interior decor rather than actually making music. I'm not really bothered about creative spaces too much, as anyone who takes a tour of my studio will attest. If someone wants to put that by a beach in Barbados, I wouldn't say no. I don't know. The Pyramids, no, it wouldn't have been, because they were slaves. Every Beatles album. Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, I'd have loved to have seen that happen, seen the reaction to that. The one tip I would say is there are lots of people in the world of film scoring in particular have access to really sophisticated music software. Lots of people can make very slick sounding stuff. It's really important to have your own voice. You are the only person that is you and has your own experiences, and try to bring that to bear in your music. And sometimes it can be the thing that you find easiest, and that's the hardest thing to get your head around. You might find a particular thing in music that you find very easy to do and therefore would dismiss it. But actually that might be the thing that makes you stand out. Find your own thing, find your own voice, and try and do what only you can do. So let's see if this makes any noise. So we'll try adding another ridiculous instrument to it. See what happens.